And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have our blue Terran player representing 3D Clan, leading the series 1-0. It is MilkiCow. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, currently teamless. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and force the ace match. It is YoungYakov. We go again. Both players have been working their way through that lower bracket. YoungYakov did fall to power earlier, and I'm sure he wants his chance at revenge. But before we can get to power, we have to get through the cow himself. Let's go. If you're in the chat, predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. MilkiCow is close. MilkiCow needs one more game. But what I will say, at least from what I saw between these two in game one, it was very close, very back and forth. I want to believe that we can force at least the ace match and bring it to game 3. Oh boy. So best of luck in the chat. As welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. Abyssal Reef is one of the larger maps in the map pool. Very large, long rush distance by ground. Likewise, very defendable bases. There's a very narrow ramp coming in towards the natural. Likewise, again, the 3rd and 4th base are quite next to each other as well. Easier to rotate between your 4-base setup and even the 5th base as well. As a result, we see a lot of mid to late game on Abyssal Reef. Aggression is typically discouraged on this map, and we could be here for a while. We could, we just had a 40-minute game between Power and Wayne, and we could be in for another long one here. We'll see. Likewise, MilkiCow is not afraid to mech. He can and he will mech it up from time to time. Not saying he will here, but it's an option. It is an option for MilkiCow. Something to be aware of. As for now, we have our standard opener, Hatch Gas Pool. No crazy 12 pool or anything like that, like we saw previously. Something more standard out of YoungYakov. And likewise, MilkiCow going for his own standard opener as well. Just racks expand into factory. We'll see if he goes for anything early on before the 3rd CC. If he goes for a 2nd rack, see if he goes for the starport, or something more economic. Ooh, as MilkiCow does take a lot of hits, does pull away, thankfully. Oh no, that does fly too close to the sun, gets burned, it gets shut down, and a strong start for YoungYakov. As he is taking his 3rd. MilkiCow back at home, getting to his own add-on swap into Hellions to try to regain map control. But overall, a better start for YoungYakov. I mean, MilkiCow is further in the dark. He doesn't know if there's saturation, doesn't know if there's a 3rd base. There could be a 2-base all-in coming his way, and he does not know. And how does he respond? That is a starport before 3rd CC. So a much more aggressive build here from MilkiCow. Far more aggressive. We could even turn this into something more committed, like a Hellbat push. We could throw down extra Maxes. That's a lot of links. That's 14 links on the way. YoungYakov, calm down. Committing quite hard. Hellions have arrived, they knock down the Lings. But that's a big investment here from YoungYakov. This does eat into his drones. He's now droning up behind this, he's not going all in, but still very committed. And he has to get something done for this. Or with this. Lings, they skirt around the edge. MilkiCow, for the most part, setting up back at home. Hellions move out, they're out of position. They are out of position here. And YoungYakov waiting for his moment. Waiting for his moment to dive. So far, there's 2 Hellions back at home. Banshee's on the way. MilkiCow, he will reinforce. And once YoungYakov notices, he can pull the trigger. For now, though, doesn't quite commit. Third TC's on the way. Lings, they dip in. Hellions, they catch a couple of workers. Lings, they commit. And can they get this around? Oh, not quite. They can surround the 3rd base, though. Can we force a cancel? We can. Massive pickup. Denies the 3rd. Massive delay. I mean, it was already delayed to begin with. And YoungYakov did spot the Banshees. He's aware. Back at home, spores are on the way. Detection's on the horizon here, but the Banshee has arrived already. And the Queen's not quite ready for this. 2 drone kills. There's a cloak. Spore's not ready. Spore's not done. Getting 3, 4, up to 5, up to 6 drones. Up to 5. 5 workers go down. This Banshee does fall back. Hellions towards the 3rd. Lings, though, they will set up for the surround. The cannon, they will. Yeah, they shut down the Hellions. Despite that, 8 drones do fall. It's, of course, in conjunction with the Banshees as well. And the Banshees, they can still threaten the bases. Behind this, MilkiCow trying to recover. So 8 drone kills is good, but doesn't quite make up for the delayed 3rd base. Again, it's a very delayed 3rd, considering that MilkiCow did open up 1-1-1 with the faster Banshees. So MilkiCow is still recovering. Thankfully, YoungYakov did overinvest into those Lings, which also eats into his own drone count. So we're looking to stabilize. I still give the edge to YoungYakov, but we're on Abyssal Reef. So again, being aggressive, as you mentioned before, it's not too easy. Guess on 3 drones. And MilkiCow can now expand. He is now taking his 3rd. Back at home, YoungYakov gets a 4th. 4th base on the way. Bailing speed, Hydras. And I believe it does have the double Eva chamber, but so far, just now starting his upgrades. So everything here has been delayed. The bailing speed, 1-1 upgrades, like everything is slightly late here just because of how chaotic the early game has been. We are looking to stabilize, and we're looking to join up. We can calm down. We can take a breath, calm things down, saturate our bases. MilkiCow has gained map control. He does move out. Without catching out these Sumers. Going for the Queens as well, and he does not get them. Flash Transfuse saves the Queens and denies the drop. So far, YoungYakov is holding his own. MilkiCow going to be reinforcing. Bearing in mind that MilkiCow, he's going to be keeping his main force at home and just harassing you with drop play. Isn't looking to break YoungYakov, just pick up a couple of Queens and maintain control of the creep. I say that, my apologies, did reinforce one of his tanks. That much more committed. He's getting within range of the mineral line. Tank fully going up. 3 drones going down. 4 medic does fall. Oh my god. Brutal pickup. MilkiCow does overextend. Getting a couple of workers here. 13, 14 drones going down. Oh my god. Even a Queen as well. Well worth it for MilkiCow. Once again, within range. Takes down more workers. 16 drones. And this time MilkiCow, he does pull back. Does pull back. Doesn't lose his medevacs. Doesn't lose his army. I spoke too soon. Oh no! I spoke too soon. Medevac goes down. And MilkiCow, he will lose everything here. Well, he traded well. Did trade well. Once again, focusing down those 4 drones. As many as he can. Reinforcing to the left-hand side, and this time he's more committed. Here come the reinforcements. Not many workers to really punish. Behind this, a 4th CC's on the way. Saturating his bases. YoungYakov setting up with the surround, coming in from behind as well. Oh, and MilkiCow getting caught out here. Tanks will fall. Bailings roll in. No major connections. Very careful play out of YoungYakov. He pulls away. Doesn't overextend. Just picks up the tanks. MilkiCow getting his 4th. MilkiCow playing with fire, takes me into the base. Does take a hit. So far, good control. Nice target firing. Not bad. But the Hydras do still punish. And MilkiCow is forced to pick up. Still just focusing on that drop play. Been getting very intense. Throughout all this, YoungYakov, he has been able to re-drone, getting up to a 4-base economy. I say that, getting up to 85 drones. Jesus. Getting fully saturated. Now here we have the Lurkers. Lurkers are morphing in. So Lingbane, Hydra Lurker. No Vipers yet, I believe. Yeah, no Vipers yet. But we've reached Lurker tech. Again, we spoke about how it's very difficult to be aggressive and to kill a player on Abyssal Reef just because of the rushes to spike round and how defendable some of these bases are. So we often reach that kind of maxed out game state, and that's where we're headed. Currently, there is no Ghost Academy for the Terran, which is concerning. Nice catch on the mains. Scanning ahead of time, there we go. Ghost Academy's halfway done. He needs those ghosts. He's not quite ready here for the Lurkers. Links. Massive. Oh my god. Massive connections. Ling run by Zenaid. Nice setup here from MilkiCow. And again, he's quite secure here. And soon to be taking a 5th. Soon taking the 5th base. Ghost Academy's now done. But we still need those ghosts. Ghosts, more tanks, Liberators as well. Just a better answer to these Lurkers outside of pure Marine. Speaking of Lurkers, they go for the dive. And forcing friendly fire. Love the disconnections. Better towards the end. Oh my god. Shutting down most of the Lings. And the Lurkers, they maintain control of the high ground. Loki got forced back. Ghost production has begun. Let's go for the scan. Sees a massive line of Lurkers. It's going to be 14 Lurkers for YoungYakov. Jumping towards the main. Let's go towards the main base. Scar holding his own. Buying time. Actually trying to commit in. Alas, the base will still fall. And we're going for the massive double Nidus into the main base. Does MilkiCow notice? Uh-oh. But now, dropping in. Okay, focusing on his own aggression. Does notice, but a little bit too late. The Nidus Storms, they will complete. Oh. And just barely. Lurkers, they pop out. They get on top of the production. And this may just be it. This may just be game. Oh my god. Yeah, production is under fire. They're also being cleaned up. Thankfully, Liberators have arrived. We have some freedom. And we have liberation. And the Lurkers will eventually go down. I say that here come the Hydra reinforcements. And we're fighting with Lings. They have production under fire. Everything's going down. Pushing further into the main. More Nidus worms. And the Bio Army just can't really push in. Oh my god, not up this ramp. It's not going to happen. And MilkiCow just locked out of his own base. More ghosts falling, going for the Ghost Academy as well. And he's just locked out. He's just locked out. Cannot push in. Dives on the tank. And MilkiCow, just everything's on fire. We're looking to force the ace match. More Nidus worms, the mass migration to escape the main. And MilkiCow just cannot spend his money. He can't spend it, that takes down the main CC. Going for more of the production. And I mean, this is one of the things about this matchup here. Nidus into the main base can't just end the game. There, then and there. Regardless of what's going on. Now pushing into the natural. Hunting down more orbitals. Stutter stepping forward. Double Nidus on the other side. Double Nidus. Denying Neil Steel frames. Moving in towards the third base. The Bio Army's out of position. Ay, ay, ay. And we're still not done. We're still pushing in. Getting one final tank. The SimCity's so messy here. I mean, it's whatever escaped. All the Raxes, all the factories. And we came to the production for a second time. And everything's just flashing red. GG gets called. YoungYakov will tab the series. We are going to the ace match. GG. GG, well played. We're going all the way to game 3. And we'll see where this story ends. I'm most curious here by the map itself. Again, MilkiCow was playing well for himself. He was harassing, he was taking better fights. Did take him a little bit too long to respond to the lurkers, but he had time. He had time to respond. He was building up his ghost count, getting his academy up and running as well. Unfortunately, did not quite notice an Ice Worms in time, and again, that can be just a kill shot then and there. Just mass lurker into the main base, came to the production, making sure that nothing can pop out and nothing can move in. GG. GG, well played. YoungYakov does take it, and now we're going all the way to the ace match, which is going to be taking place on El Dorado. Okay. El Dorado is the final map, a much more unusual map in the map pool, can be quite unorthodox. You can expand towards your opponent, away from your opponent. There are goal bases as well. A lot to factor in. A lot to factor in. And we'll see who will face off against Power. Again, Power is still patiently waiting. We still have 2 more matches ahead of us after this one. We still have the lower bracket finals with Power, and then the grand finals with Wayne. So still more matches ahead of us. Let's go. Here we go. As our players have joined. And again, it's still a little bit too hard to call here who to favor. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe both of them did fall to Power. Yeah, fun fact. Power, actually, he 2-0'd YoungYakov at the start of the playoffs, and then he took down MilkiCow 2-0 as well in the quarterfinals. So both these 2 players, they have a grudge. They have a grudge against Power. They both did fall to him 2-0. Which doesn't bode well to either one of them in that rematch, regardless. I'm sure they both want it. I'm sure they're both gunning for it. We'll see what it's going to be. Is Dave going to cast Hub Cup? Is there a Hub Cup this week? I guess there is. It's a bi-weekly, right? Yes, there is one this week. I imagine Dave Tesla usually is covering that event, right? I'm assuming you're talking about Dave. Or Steadfast. They usually cover them. Don't know what their schedule looking like, but I imagine they're regulars for that event. Unfortunately, we here on the CranKy Ducklings, because we're based in Australia, we usually don't cover the European weeklies. We usually just that's when we sleep. It would be nice to sleep at one point. This is our second broadcast of the day already. We were just live with Sparkling Tuna Cup, and now Fire Grow Cup, and then would be nice to sleep a little bit before our next cast. Would be nice. But here we go. We're getting into our ace match, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado, we have our blue Terran player representing 3D Clan being forced into the ace match. We'll see if he can bounce back and make it to that next round. It is MilkiCow. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner here of El Dorado, we have our red Zerg player. We have our red Zerg fighting back, forcing the ace match. Momentum is on his side. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. As we are settling in, this time there's no crazy turn of events. There's no crazy 12 pool like we would see from Wayne. Just hatch first. Hatch gas pool here for my Zero player. Likewise, ranks expand out of MilkiCow. No proxies, no cheeses, no aggression yet. And welcome one and all to El Dorado. Again, this is one of the more unusual maps in the map pool and often vetoed as a result. There are mineral walls, very similar to Golden Wall back in the day, or even Alkyone more recently. There are minerals here towards the center that you can mine through to gain access towards the southern half of the map, and this is where all the gold bases are. We have gold bases towards the left, towards the right, towards the center as well. Very valuable locations. And likewise, we have seen a lot of Terran players expand towards their opponents, towards the south, and make use of that to be able to reduce the time it takes to get across the map and turn this into like a 3-base 8-rack all-in, especially with the gold minerals. When you go for an 8-racks anyway, you don't take your gases. You don't need gases. It's just purely mineral, purely marine based, and it can get out of hand. Likewise, we could also expand away from each other. We can expand towards the top side instead to give each other more breathing room and be more defensive and build up towards a longer game stage. We can see here MilkiCow does check the wall before pulling away. As it looks like YoungYakov, without working on that wall, is looking to expand towards the top side instead. Reaper dips in, dancing with the Lings. Standstills trade. Gets one, gets two. Two Lings going down. Delayed third base at YoungYakov, but it is still on the way. Third base is being taken. Up. Force back. It's going to be forced back behind this, and here we do have a third CC before Starport. Let's go. Last game, as a reminder, we had a 1-1-1 more aggressive build getting to Banshees. This time, third CC, more economic opener out of our Terran. So economic start from MilkiCow. Likewise, delayed third base out of YoungYakov. But we can now settle in. We'll be droning, taking our creep. I'm most curious as to where MilkiCow takes the third. Based on its positioning here, he can still expand towards the right-hand side and even towards the gold. Curious if he will. So we'll see where he does float the CC over. Overlord is in position, checking the vision. YoungYakov, he did get eyes on the third CC, so he knows it is the economic build. And I'm sure he's poised to scout for where it lands. It's going to be all over that. Meanwhile, MilkiCow, he will gain map control, opening up Heli and Banshee. With this, his goal should be to contain and potentially get some drone kills. Be rotating between the bases. It's going to be him to check saturation, to make sure that YoungYakov is actually droning. Make sure there's no hidden tech like an early Roach Warren. Overlord dips in. And confirms reactor on the factory. Confirms there's no 3CC211. And there are cloak Banshees. He does see the researching tech lab is aware of the cloak. Is aware. Lair first. Going for the lair first. Going for a relatively safe opener here. This should be lair first into a Baneling Nest, into delayed Evo chambers. Prioritizing Baneling speed. Less so 1-1. So overall pretty safe and standard play here from YoungYakov. Keeping with the Hellions. They bring down the tumor. There's that Baneling Nest as we mentioned. So this Baneling Nest is lined up with the lair, so you can start Baneling speed as quickly as possible. And again, it's just a really safe way to play. Does ensure that you have Baneling speed in time for any kind of early push. Likewise, also means that if there was something like a Hellbat aggression, then you'd be somewhat ready for it as well. Downside is delayed 1-1. And delayed Evo chambers. Meanwhile, Ling's out of position. Hellions, they go for the dive. They dive into the mineral line. Drone's going to get roasted. Actually heading into the main. Kimmy, they do dive in. Boys being pulled away. Lings are falling behind. And so far, no major damage. Oh my god. Yeah, workers, they line up. Oh, barely no other shots though. 6 drones, that could have been so much worse. 6 workers go down, mass around. Oh my god. Banshee's there, extend. 1 Banshee falls already. Getting only 1 drone. And MilkiCow, he barely does miss the tech. He does miss the Spire. So Lingbane not into Hydras, not into upgrades, into Spire tech. I was actually about to mention that I was surprised there was no Eva Chambers. I was really shocked. I was like, there should be Eva Chambers by now. Where are the upgrades? What's going on? Well, we see why. Delayed Eva Chambers for instead Mutas. So Lingbane into Muta here from YoungYakov. At the same time, Ling's a counterattack. There is a full wall, and MilkiCow, he will expand towards the north side. It doesn't expand towards his opponent. Getting to his own bio. Now, rushing into mutas like this is risky, but so far unscattered. So far it is unscattered, and as a result it has potential to pop off, to wreak havoc across the map. As a reminder, here on El Dorado, it is short rush distance by air. Very short by air. So there's potential. How many racks? It's 5. MilkiCow, he has a 5-rack setup. Mutas are on the way. 7 mutas, that is enough to one-shot. To one-shot SCVs, I mean. MilkiCow is being active. Bailings are on the way. Bailing speed is done. It's going to be done. MilkiCow looking for a cancel. Oh, can he get it? He can. Nice cancellation. Mutas, they are not yet revealed. Yeah, there we go. Are now revealed. Diving on top of the army. Chasing down the Medivacs. And instantly turrets. Turrets are on the way. 1 in each mineral line. MilkiCow racing back. Forced to unload. Comes in to reinforce. The Medivac goes down. Nice target firing. Gets to all those mutas. But we'll still lose that Medivac, and YoungYakov, he's going for the kill, going straight for the natural. Bailey's rolling in. Oh my god. And he will connect. Nice save. Oh my god, only 3 SCVs. Does save the workers, does lift, but despite that, the natural is under control of the Zerg. Yeah, depots are going down. Upgrades as well. Takes down an eBay. Rotates over towards that 3rd. Gets another tank. Mutas are going down, but despite that, there's no support, no Medivacs. They're now boosting in. Despite that brutal damage, he lifts. Once again evacuates. Can only evacuate so much. CC goes down. And then YoungYakov, he's done it. He's broken the 3rd. He's broken the natural as well. Deepers are going down. This is brutal damage. MilkiCow, he does hold on to that 3rd base though. Does save it, but at a cost of 19 SCVs. Ay, ay, ay. And behind this, YoungYakov just droning. He's just droning up, just saturating. +1 air attack is on the way. Hydrogen as well. I mean, mutas are amazing at harassing, but less so when it comes to engaging with the main army. Has to pull away. Cannot commit. And YoungYakov, he's done with mutas. He's going into Hydra. Lings, they hit the 3rd base once again. They just keep going. They just keep going. Oh no. 8 more SCV kills. And YoungYakov is up to 89. Almost 90. Almost 90 workers essentially here for YoungYakov. Mutas, they pull away. YoungYakov against supply blocks. 7 overlords in production. We're going to focus on his ground army. We're done with the mutas. They've done their job. And MilkiCow stuck at home is the problem here. He's stuck at home, and sure, MilkiCow, he can try to recover and try to turtle, but the reality is that YoungYakov is about to max out. He's about to max. Thankfully, he's not avoiding his tech. It is late, the infestation pit, I mean. So late pit, late hive, but is taking up nonetheless. And YoungYakov should be the first to max. And when he does, he should be moving in. Should be pressing that advantage. So we have MilkiCow going for the double drop. Okay, it's going to be spotted. YoungYakov's in position. That's MilkiCow going for another drop towards the top side. Towards that mineral line. YoungYakov, he tries to commit. Peels off a couple of units. So far he's keeping up. Not bad. Having the army, Macho goes up, takes down some banelings. Oh, and YoungYakov is overextending here. He does take down 2 tanks though. Takes down 2 tanks, takes down a handful of SCVs. Still an expensive trade. He's back at home trying to keep up. Shuts down the bio. Deflector drops. And Yakov still maxed out. And now here comes that Hive. Hive is finishing. Lurker Gen on the way. More than anything here, YoungYakov is missing Vipers. Vipers would be ideal to break these siege lines. And break these positions. Until then, committing in. Mine shots going up. Using connections. But again, there's just an overwhelming amount of Hydras. They take down the first door. Boys being pulled away. The Banelings! Oh my god, massive connections! Maybe they shut down the mineral line. 22 SCVs going down. Ay, ay, ay. Again, the center base is just so exposed, so vulnerable. And YoungYakov, he does start to step in. I think this is a bit much. He may lose his Hydras here. Expensive trade. And it's going to be a one-way trip. Bleeds out most of his Hydras. The reinforcements have arrived. They're trickling in. It's going to be a messy fight here for YoungYakov. But he does get on top of the tank. Now pulls away. Does pull back. Again, not the most efficient of fights, but I mean, YoungYakov, he can afford it. He's on 94 workers. He can rebuild. He can remax to his heart's content. MilkiCow, lesser. He's just struggling to keep his head above water. Down to 51 SCVs. Up. Piling in. Oof, brutal mind connection. By a little bit of time. As YoungYakov's still building up. Still collapsing in. Line shots, they're decent here. And the Lee Main does struggle. But he takes down the CC, that's a kill. It's going to be a kill in the orbital. Lee Main into the mineral line. 8 SCV kills. And this is all that YoungYakov needs. Kills the 4th base, slips into the mineral line. That's the main that's floating over. That's how desperate MilkiCow is. And again, his tournament life is on the line. There's no lower brackets. There's no safety net behind this. It's all or nothing. MilkiCow, he wants to believe. He wants to believe. Let's go. Collapse on the tanks. That's 1, 2, 3 tanks going down. Yeah, they're just so exposed. There's just no support. No support for the tanks. Slings, they flood into the natural, into the 3rd. And GG gets called. MilkiCow, he taps out. And YoungYakov will take the series 2-1. Advancing on to the lower bracket finals. GG. GG, well played. YoungYakov, he will claim the series, will advance on. My condolences to MilkiCow. He played well here in this series to, even start things off with a lead, of course, with that 1-0 advantage. Coming into game 2, coming into game 3, alas, YoungYakov was able to get the better of him. I'll be honest, things were looking quite good for MilkiCow on Abyssal Reef. And then the Nidus. Remember, it all came down to the Nidus storm in the main base, which did complete, and that ended the game then and there. Here in game 3, a little bit different here. We saw YoungYakov be quite successful when it comes to deflecting the initial aggression, the initial Hellion run by, the Banshees as well, which led into him gaining map control, and was able to catch MilkiCow with his pants down. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And I believe that leads us to our next series. Leads us into our next series here. There it is. We have our top 3. We have our top 3 players. Wayne has some downtime. Wayne, he can go and get some food, get some rest. He can drain his disruptors. He can massage his Marines, and he can tuck in his Tempest. Meanwhile, we are focusing on our next series. Best of 5 ZVP rematch. Let's go. Do you have a rematch here? in that low bracket finals. Vetoes are underway, and we have 2 series remaining. 2 series left. I would totally watch if you would go full degenerate. No shot, no shot. I mean, I tried yesterday, but like I was just so fatigued. It's less so about the time of the event. It's more so about the amount of events that we're casting. Like, I mean, our schedule's like full as it is. This is our, yeah, like this is our second cast like back to back, and covering a third event. No shot, no shot. I don't have it in me, unfortunately. Especially if I want to be well rested for the Wardy TV Monday. So it's a lot to cover, a lot to cast, as always. Again, Wardy TV Monday is going to be tomorrow at 9 p.m. KST, or I guess later tonight at 9 p.m. KST. So ideally, I want to be well rested for that. Ideally. Regardless, GG well played. YoungYakov, he does claim it, and we are now getting ready for that best of 5. Vetoes are underway as we speak. And this is a rematch. For those that weren't here, I mean, we didn't get to cast it ourselves. Power did defeat YoungYakov 2-0 already earlier in the bracket. Scrolling on over, you can see here in the first round, YoungYakov versus Power was in the quarterfinals in the upper bracket, and Power did 2-0. Will he do it again? Can YoungYakov take a map? Can he make a series out of this? I mean, YoungYakov, I think I would favor him against Wayne. I say favor him a little bit more than Power, I mean, against Wayne, as YoungYakov actually did defeat Wayne in the group stage, was able to bring him down, so has already looked solid against him. We also saw him take down Wayne in the best of 7. This was in Fire Cup number 4, if I'm not mistaken, was a couple of months ago, but YoungYakov did defeat Wayne in that best of 7, looking very strongly, very powerful in that series. Was, I'll be honest, one-sided, but getting there is the issue. Getting there is the problem. As we are setting up. Likewise, we are going to be going on a short break. We're going to be going on a very short break here. We need a little bit of time to set up for the vetoes and set up for the finals. Our players are asking for a moment, which is more than acceptable. It's all good. Players that need some time. So we'll be back soon in a couple of minutes with YoungYakov versus Power. Coming up next. See you soon. Oh. See you soon.